Good evening and welcome to the Proctor Selectboard February 9th regular meeting. If you'd all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. The first order of business would be to review and approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. The January 26th Select Board meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Open public comment. You're on the agenda, so we don't have anything. The only thing I would add is that there is a new story walk up that the kids have put up, and the author was just here last week, and the pages are My Towering Tree by, illustrated by Ashley Wolf, who was here, and she did, probably don't know this, but she did Baby Beluga, so they were all, anyway. So they're trying to do one like every 3 months, I think, or something like that, and then trying to do, they have things like 3 or 4 of them left over, make it more Proctor based like they did last time, so something for the adults and for the kids. So anyway, it's a great program over there. All right, everybody had an opportunity to sign the warrants.
Yes.
All right, the municipal planning grant to update the local hazard mitigation plan. Information was in your packet.
So the planning commission just wanted me to include that in your packets because, I mean, we're not due till 2027 for the next plan, but we got a grant for it that's covering it all. Our only match is in kind of $1,300. We're getting over 11,000. So they'll help us write it, and by the time we're in the queue, we're probably going to be 5 months out without a plan in place because we'll expire, but we shouldn't have any impact on that. So she just wanted me to make sure that you have like a timeline there that's not set in stone, but that's just to provide you with updates on where we're at and moving along with it.
Okay. Any questions about it? Do we know who's doing it? Because this person isn't there anymore, right?
Yeah, I've been dealing with Maggie. Maggie's going to be doing it.
Okay.
I think Nick is still there.
He is? I thought he wasn't there. I thought he... Okay.
Logan left.
Yeah, I thought he came for something else and he said he was going. Maybe not.
Yeah, they've had some turnover.
Yeah. Okay, any questions about that? Comments?
No.
All right. Tax map maintenance proposal. That information is also in your packet.
So this is, you have to sign off on this, and this is the new contract, which is April 1st of 2026 through March 31st, 2027. Pretty much kind of the same every year, except always the rate goes up. So this year it was $1,400 last year. This year it's $1,700. And then $20 per building added or changed.
Okay. Any questions?
Albert?
No, I was just gonna ask if she needed a motion to.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, motion to sign the tax map maintenance proposal.
All right.
And I have the, sorry.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Are we all signing it?
Yeah.
I was like, probably don't want that on the document, right? Like, oh, we can add a document. I'm just gonna wait for everybody to sign until we start.
No problem.
Otherwise they lose focus.
Yeah. Like a chipmunk.
I'm on the planning commission in Pittsburgh.
So,
Similar kind of dynamics. Maybe.
All right. So I'll turn it over to you and let you introduce yourself and tell us
do you want to
what.
put the Board of Water Commission first? I think I have them under that.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay, sure.
Because it's under that board.
Oh, because I took it out and removed it when I was doing my notes.
Oh.
And just FYI, the traffic ordinance became effective July 12th, 2026, so I'm sure
Yeah, I
that's
just wanted to make
updated on the website.
you aware of that. It hasn't been downloaded yet.
Okay,
I just wanted to make it,
okay.
because I don't think I mentioned it previously.
So a motion will be in order at 6:08 to enter the Board of Water Commissioners.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Now we'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay.
And everyone should have in their packet letterhead that kind of, yeah. Okay, great.
Okay. Hi, my name is Rob Spenceley. I'm an attorney over in Pittsburgh, and I grew up in Pittsburgh. I was born in Middlebury. I like to think that on a personal level, I have a very deep appreciation of Proctor. My mother was born at the old Proctor Hospital. My sister lives in Proctor, and we have two. Well, my nephews are 8th graders here at Proctor. She married Matt Moriarty, is her name now, Moriarty. And it's an honor to be here. I've never been in front of the Proctor Selectboard. I've done some work in the land records, but I don't believe I've been in this room, and I'm pretty impressed. What brings, and also my family's big into owning Camp Sangamon and Betsy Cox. So my grandfather, grew up here. My great-grandfather came from Leominster, Massachusetts to come to Vermont. I'm here today because I represent Hillary Lambert, pertaining specifically, she lives at 109 Deere Lane. And then there's a second parcel, I'd call that parcel 2. Parcel 1 is a much larger property where she has a rental house and teaches like culinary classes, there's barns. And she owns both of those and would like to be able to sell the large parcel. But in order to do so, she needs to have a water solution at the property that she'd like to retain, which is the 109 Deere Lane. And this is the building that's right behind the old TNT tractor building.
And it used to be that there was a water line that went to the TNT tractor building, and then I believe it carried straight on through. I had a couple maps, and served her house in the back. And then at one point, I believe it actually went around and served her house. But about 6 to 8 years ago, I believe it would have been, she disconnected from town water. And let me back up, because Hillary lives in Pittsford. And in 2010, Proctor decided to stop servicing houses and properties that were not located in Proctor. But there was an agreement. I'm not sure if I sent you that or not. I think I might have tried.
We're aware of
it. There's a case decision where my understanding of the agreement to at least take Taranovich out of that litigation was that the town of Proctor would continue to service that specific property which is located in Pittsford. And my reading of that agreement is that it applied to Taranovich, but also successors and interests, and that it was something that ran with the land. And so that was great, but about 6 to 8 years ago, I'm not exactly sure when, Hillary Lambert disconnected what we're calling the back behind house on 109 Deere Lane. She disconnected that from town water. She had another well on the bigger property that is anticipated to be sold that she connected to. And she talked to the town. My understanding here is where you might know some things better than me, so please feel free to jump in and correct me, is that the town was part of turning the water off. And it was in fact capped. There was a man, I think his name was John Corliss, who capped the line at the house, but that the water wasn't turned off at the street, is my understanding. And then 2-3 years later, there was an issue with water bubbling up right beside Route 3 on the big property. And I think it was at that point in time that it was actually shut off at the road. And there might still even be a broken pipe there that, as I've heard, that the town said, well, we're not going to prioritize fixing that particular pipe. So I think there's actually a broken pipe on the road there where it used to hook in. I think the current status is not ideal, and that there might be a broken pipe underground at the road. And what I'm hoping to learn is number one, if the town is still able to service 109 Deere Lane, and if so, what the process would be, and to try to answer any questions that you all have about that.
Okay. I think later in the meeting, we're going to move into executive session and have correspondence with our attorney, because this is a contract issue. And there is also correspondence from Ms. Lambert requesting that the water be turned off, and there was an agreement with the town in turning it off that funds that were due to the town at the time were then abated. So it was a benefit to her as well. So the town absorbed those funds that had been unpaid.
Could I get copies of that at some point? It sounds like there's some letters back and forth. I don't know if Hillary
Right, meeting
had.
minutes.
Yeah. She wrote a letter, so.
Oh, the letter we have that she
Yeah.
requested to have a shower.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she had a copy.
Well, that would be a letter that she sent to the town.
Understood.
And it is recorded in meeting minutes. So, but anyway, we'll be discussing this with our attorney, because it is a contract issue. Even though it did state when the property transferred that they were to be serviced by water, it was under their request to have the water disconnected. So,
In the letter that you're referring to.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So, yeah. So I don't have any questions. I don't know if anybody else from the board has any questions for Albert?
Well, I'm disappointed, in some of the material that was given to us. I don't know if I should speak, in executive session about the material, or the material that was given to us in the handout. you know.
Well, the material that we're gonna discuss in executive session is not gonna be on the table. If it was on the table, then that makes
Okay,
it
so-
open meeting and so we're not going to provide, information that's going to be from our attorney on the table at this
Okay,
point.
yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be once we.
Okay, so it's gonna be questions pertaining to, the wastewater system and potable water.
Well, that's a
supply.
question you could ask, because that's beyond the scope of, that is what they have provided. That is beyond the
Okay,
scope
yep, that's
of
all I'm
our
gonna ask is-
authority or knowledge.
Yeah, pertaining to that document that you gave us. That was in our.
The
It's-
wastewater permit looks like.
It's,
Right, about, I think, coming into compliance.
Yeah, there were 2 wastewater permits, I believe. Which one are you referring to, Albert?
let's see, WW1-13041, permit number.
Okay,
And that pertains to the property that was split, you know, that has Carpenter Costin in the front, and in the back is the
Yes.
single-family residential.
yes,
You know, that's the one, that's the permit I'm looking at.
right.
And, you know, this project consisting of subdivision of the existing property into 2 lots, you know, and if you go to page 3, but it's 2.1, paragraph 2.1, and it talks about water supply.
Okay.
You know, Lot 2, I'm just gonna look at that sketch to make sure I make reference to it. That Lot 2, that back lot, you know, that, or no, they were talking about Lot 1. Lot 1, you know, for potable water supply, to be continued utilization of the existing connection, you know, to the town's municipal water supply system. You know, and then to the back lot, it said it had to be permanently severed and terminated in a manner depicted on the referred plans. You know, and then on for Lot 2, it said for potable water, you know, they had to put in a new line, a separate line. And also in that paragraph, it says, no other means of obtaining potable water supply shall be allowed to Lot 2 without prior review and approval by the Drinking Water and Groundwater Protection Division. So evidently, they decided to disconnect, and my question to you would be, you know, where is, you know, that document where they requested approval to get off and go to, you know, another source of drinking water, you know, that needed, you know, that approval from the state. You know, why wasn't that letter in this packet that was given to us?
Well, I could try to provide it. I'm not sure why. So you're asking about the letter that gained the state's support for this proposal?
Yes. Well, that says if you disconnect from the Proctor water source, you have to get permission from the state to do so. You know, because they went to another potable water source.
Yes.
Paragraph 2.2.
Yeah, I'm just reading it again. And I just want to make sure I understand. I might be able to find what it is that you're describing. It's a letter to the state that you're
Well, it
after?
says,
Drinking Water and Groundwater Protection Division?
division, I would say that's the state of Vermont division. Because
Okay.
they're the one that are issuing this permit.
And you're interested in the letter that went to the state? in that regard.
Yes. You know, no, my question is, why wasn't it in this packet, you know, with the other permits and the forms? And my other one was,
I'm not sure.
you know, in here, part of the state requirement is that you have a statement in there that, you know, it was inspected and it meets the criteria of the permit. Well, in this permit, you know, they had a design, you know, by a local individual, and there was the original design. Then he did a revised design, you know, that's included here.
Okay.
And then there was another revised, and then there was another revision done on that same revision. You know, and I'm looking at those, and the dates are difficult to read, but I can make out the dates on those. And in here, for that person to do the inspection on sheet 1 under general on 1.1, when you look under, you know, it says revised on 6/7/2014.
Yes.
And that's what the certification from the person that did the inspection is supposed to document. And there is a letter in here, you know, from him certifying that it does meet the criteria. But the only thing is, in this document from the person certifying, it doesn't list any revision number that it's certifying is the one that was met. Nor could I find any of these revisions with that date of 6/7/2014. You know, that's on sheet 1. It says right there, you know, and then, you know, I've got the 3 sketches, but none are revised on 6/7/2014.
Part of what we ran into in researching the title of this property was that there were mistakes within these wastewater permits that we located. And part of what we're trying to do is actually bring them into compliance with the state. So I'm sorry that it appeared, you know, incomplete in that way. I could definitely try to find anything that you'd like me to try to find, but for example, I mean, the 2 permits are really supposed to, they go together in many ways, but they're not accurate, because if you look at the other permit, the WW 115851, it says that lot was 22.9 acres, which is not true, because both of the properties together equal about 22.9 acres. And in fact, the lot 1 permit is more like 17.05. So there are lots of errors actually that we found within these permits. And it seems like you might have picked up on some inconsistencies yourself. So all I can really say to that right now is that there's problems with the permits that need to be rectified with each other also. And then that is part of the work that we're hoping to do. But we're really not going to get off the ground with anything like that if there's no way to serve water to that back lot. So I figured that's where I wanted to start. But there is work to be done, and I hear what you're saying. I know you want it to make sense.
Yeah, and then I just wanted to make sure that, you know, they followed the protocol that was required, you know, by the agreement.
Okay.
You know, and this is part of, because like you say, it goes to the assigns, and they're the assigns of that property, so.
And what about the well that's been used for that house? Why, that doesn't seem to be referenced anyplace either.
So that well, there's a picture of that well. If you look at the permit that's WW 11585-1, I I might be able to show you most effectively, but if you look into that permit, there's a map.
What's the cover sheet for that one that we're looking at?
It's
It's the one that has,
the one that
okay.
says 22.9
Yep,
acres,
okay.
which is actually wrong. And if you look at the map, we kind of colored it up here, but see I'm holding the map. And on the picture on the right, it actually has the well that I'm talking about. I believe says non-potable water supply. But in fact, they tested that well. Does everyone see where I'm pointing?
Yeah, but are you on the front lot or the back lot?
So Route 3 is here.
Yeah,
Here's the well that says non-potable, and here's the back behind lot with Deere
Okay.
Lane. This is the well that's actually servicing that house right now.
yeah.
Even though it says non-potable, apparently they had it tested and it was really good water, so they took care
Okay.
of that.
So there is a well that provides water to the house.
Right now there is, and it's located on what I'll call Lot 1, which is the piece of property that she's hoping to sell. So it can't remain that way,
But you can do a lot line adjustment.
potentially.
Okay.
Did that answer that?
No, I just wanted to see where you were pointing.
I was pointing here, it says non-potable well, and this is the house that Miss Lambert is hoping to keep where she's presently living, I understand, and it hooks into that well presently.
Where's that well?
This is a well right here, non-potable water supply.
This?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah.
So it crosses, it's on her property now, but it goes from Lot 1 to Lot 2. And that's what we're hoping, because it can't really stay that way if she's selling the bigger piece.
Yeah, so there's a lot that isn't been really corrected to these notes here then.
Right now, the properties are not exactly in compliance, you could say. And we're trying to help her bring them into compliance.
And that's the only well on all of the acreage?
So the big property is still serviced by town water that goes into, I guess, the rental house there in that barn where she teaches the culinary classes is still served by town water. But there was a second town water that went to, you called it it's not TNT Tractor anymore, is it?
Carpenter and Boston.
That. There's a second line that went there, and it used to continue on to the back house, which is 109 Deere Lane. But she cut off and capped at the house and instead hooked onto that well that's located on the big property. And I think that took place about 6 to 8 years ago is when that took place.
2017.
Looks like you're getting that from somewhere, probably my materials. Sounds right.
2017.
Okay. So. Yeah.
So the carpentry place is getting its water
Yes, from this town.
in town?
Yeah.
And so is in the farmhouse.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Anybody have any further questions, clarifications? Albert?
I was just gonna say, on those original maps, it shows for plots 1 and 2, Carpenter and Cost in the house.
Yep.
No well area. And there's no dimensions there. It's a pretty big area that encompasses a lot of those 2 lots. No well area, no well area. I just want to make sure that, on this one, it's a little bit different scale, that it's not encroaching on area that says no well area.
Okay.
Because it looks like it's pretty close to the Carpenter Costin building, in this sketch.
The well.
Yeah, well, right, that's just writing, but it's really, put an X where that, where the
middle
well
of
is.
The middle of the circle there.
Yeah,
Yep.
and on this one, it says, there is no well areas.
That well it was drilled around the time they hooked into it, I understand. So might be that it didn't appear on that first information.
Because the first permit was for, the subdivision of the lots, and that was in 2004.
Right.
14, I mean.
14, yeah.
214, and this is 2024, so.
Right.
So are you saying that's when the well went in 2024?
I don't think it went in 2024. I think it went in more around 2017. Because my understanding is that Hillary told me she disconnected from the town at 109 Deere Lane about 6 to 8 years ago, which would have meant she needed a place to hook into right around that same time. So I think that's about when that well.
Okay, any further questions? We will provide a letter with the board's decision once we confer it with our attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, is there anything else for
Thanks.
water?
Thank you.
No.
So if you'd like to move out of water at 6:32 and into sewer.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any updates for sewer? Or are you doing that under your manager's report?
Yeah, I don't even know if I put it in my manager's report. I'm waiting for, still waiting for the,
Bond?
the application to be approved through the state.
Okay.
We did get another invoice from Synagro, but I asked them to correct it because they labeled it the same as, they labeled it application 3 and it's actually application 4. So I said
Okay.
before I sign it, I want them to correct that, so.
All right, any questions about sewer?
No.
All right, motion would be in order to move out of sewer and into the regular select board meeting.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Sheriff's report. I don't want to have to be the grammar police, but.
No, I know, a lot of them. Especially one, there's like, yay,
Like, that's
quick fingers,
yeah, that's on the outside of your car.
right?
All right, any questions about the sheriff's report? Concerns? Okay, town manager's report?
Okay, the update since I wrote this, so, the annual reports actually went out today. Or were mailed out, brought to the post office, so everybody should be getting them. And I don't even think I mentioned it, or none of you asked, but it was, this year was dedicated to the Public Works Department. And they are on the cover with their new bucket loader.
Nice.
And, I did a write-up for them on the inside cover, so. They
Very
were very,
nice.
very appreciative.
Good
So,
deal.
they have their pens ready, so at any town meeting, they can autograph them.
markers.
Yeah, so.
Go through the line? Yeah.
But yeah, they've done a lot of, they're great. They really are. When the weather's bad, they're out there, no questions asked, don't have to check in on them. They're constantly watching it, so it's really good. And I mean, one guy's in here 7 days a week because he has to do water samples and wastewater, so.
No, I think that's great.
Yep. So, so they went mailed out, so that's good. Let's see, ordered the logo, in the flag. So what I did is I just ordered the 4x4 logos
Yeah.
and one flag because I want to see what everybody's response is before I go big and order
Sure.
too much. So, they should be, I asked if they could be here before town meeting and they said, yes, they should be here.
But you ordered a handful of the.
Yeah, I ordered a
Yeah.
100 of the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I ordered one. We're good.
I was like, sure.
Whoever gets there first gets it.
So we're just gonna put it on the table, I'll take a picture.
When's the
Yes.
last town meeting we had 100 people?
Yeah.
I'm being hopeful, Albert,
Yeah.
okay? Maybe it'll last
It's
through
the
every
carrot,
meeting throughout
it's
the
the
year.
carrot. Come get a sticker.
Yeah, that's right. They'll show up for the sticker.
So the planning commission met on the 5th of February. I explained to them about your questions and concerns. I provided them with a list typed out of all your questions, and that's what I provided you with. I guess I did speak with Rutland Regional Planning Commission, and they said this really has to be adopted sooner rather than later. Because of the deadline. And I looked at other towns that kind of gave out they had some good information as far as why we need to do it. And he said it's more like a placeholder, just like say if the Marble building up here wanted to put housing in there, they don't have to go through Act 250 if this is in place, because it's under 10 acres, under 50 housing. So it's just a benefit to us to not have to jump through hoops, less permit cost, able for like manufacturing over there. Something big was coming in there that they would have less hoops to jump through. He said we can always adopt it. The planning commission has to adopt it first. We'll have a meeting and people will go vote on it, whatever. Then 15 days after the select board does. And it all has to be done by the end of March. So I'm looking at the 26th, I think it was, for the planning commission to meet, and the select board on March 16th.
Okay.
So I wanted to give you just the changes, so if you had any questions, you could just shoot me an email and look it over and let me know what your
So
thoughts are.
they're doing it when? February, what'd you say?
26, that's what I'm proposing to them.
Okay.
Because I have to give 15 days notice
Okay,
for their meeting, and we
Yep.
have to give 15 for ours.
yep.
And we can always, once it's adopted,
Make changes.
we can revise it, yep. Received a grant priority list for the wastewater treatment facility. The engineers are working on getting final approval, sign off on the project so they can put a bid date on the calendar. So, he's trying to move it along as quickly as possible because it seems like little things are just happening down there and we don't want to expense them and put a lot of money into it when this project's coming through, so. Let's see. Then waiting for the bond council opinion letter. I emailed them, so we need that so funds can be released. And then prepping for a town meeting.
Are we doing slides or anything, or no?
No.
Okay.
Because there's nothing really,
I didn't know.
at this point with the wastewater.
I mean, the budget is in the report,
Everything, yep.
so there's really no other kind of,
No, there's nothing
handouts.
big, the warning, there's
Yeah.
nothing big on the warning. Yeah.
okay.
It's pretty cut and dry.
Any questions? Any thoughts about town meeting? Any questions, concerns, things you want? Okay.
Just be prepared to answer questions on budgets.
On budgets? I mean, everyone's gonna have the budget.
That's
in
normally
the-
what they have questions on.
Everyone's gonna have the budget before our next meeting,
Right,
so,
yeah. I'm just saying that's usually what comes up is budget.
yeah.
I mean, the.
There's
waste-
no
and they-
real huge jumps in any
No.
budget that I can.
And I'm gonna do a report out like I did last year, so I'll update them as to where the wastewater treatment plant is and all that kind of stuff. and what-
Roads we anticipate.
Yep, what we're looking
paving.
at, tax sailing, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
So we are looking to tax sale some properties, so we,
and I think that would be good then, like, if we create the agenda, so like, we open or whatever, whoever the legislatures, are that are there, that they have 3 minutes, 3 minutes means
Right.
3 minutes, they don't attend our meetings here, so.
right.
Seriously, town meeting should not be their platform for
Yep.
reelection.
I've only had one
That's
reach
my,
out to me about being there, so and I think Andy's pretty good about keeping,
yeah, so I mean, it really just, we shouldn't spend, a half an hour on listening to legislative updates. If they
Right.
want to provide us with updates, they could be emailing you things that are important to provide to us, we could put on the website, things like that. And I just feel like they don't. They
Right.
don't reach out to us, they kind of feel annoyed if you ask them a question, and I'm sorry, I just am of the belief that annual meetings are not their reelection platform. So, and then I think after that, you should do your little, share that information before we dive
right, yeah,
into
definitely, yeah.
the budget.
Yeah.
And then do we want to, we haven't done it for a long time, but do we want to touch base with Sarah Harrington that we want to do some kind of food drive on voting day or something like that, or collect for the food bank? She's like in charge of the Proctor Pittsford Food Bank.
Right, okay.
So-
Is that when they do the bake sale that the proceeds go to it, or no?
I don't know,
No,
usually.
that goes to the school, right?
Yeah, usually a class will do something, and I don't know if they are or aren't, but in the past, like, I don't know, we would challenge Pittsford or whatever.
Oh, right.
But I think just, if people want to bring stuff, I mean, if you want to reach out to her, maybe she
Okay.
could provide a list of things.
Right.
We could put it on our Facebook page, on the website, so,
Yep.
or helping people in our community if you can help people. I just think it's a nice thing to do when people are gathering to
Okay.
show support, and she is the manager, so.
And I'm guessing there's not gonna be a big turnout for voting, so
It's really like just like
nothing
3
to really
things
vote.
or something, so, yeah.
I mean, no offense, guys.
Yeah, so, yeah, so I think that would be good.
Okay.
And then, yeah,
Okay.
I guess
And you
that's
guys can
it.
always go on, like the Vermont Leagues of Cities and Towns, they do a legislative update all the time.
yeah, they
Everything's
should
in there.
email it to you. Do you get it in your emails?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that gives you everything that's happening.
Yeah, that's true, but we have, people that set on particular, and should be,
Right.
be able to come back and tell us, like how things pertain to us or
Right.
like that, so. I think that's, if you ask to be in the seat, those are part of your responsibilities to report out, so. That's just my feeling on it. I mean, I think the same is for us here. If people come to us.
Right.
Or ask a question, that we have a responsibility. If we don't have know the answer, to, reach out to you or send them to you or something like that. But to be, sorry, I touched that. But I do think that's part of the responsibility for asking to be in the chair, in my opinion, so. All right, okay.
Albert has a question.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, Lisa, because, the protocol that's been in place, the last couple of years, I've only been to a couple of town
Sure.
meetings as a board member, but Judy just said about be prepared to answer questions. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, if there's a question that's directed, concerning the budget and we feel we may have an answer, do we look to you and look at both of you two to answer it, or can we?
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, I'll just, like, from the school board, when we have annual meeting, historically, we let our business manager
Okay,
answer the
yeah, okay,
questions.
no, I just wanted to make sure, when
And
Judy
so we
said
usually
be
just
prepared.
delineate that's gonna be our spokesperson.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
because, not that I don't think we've sat and talked about the numbers, and it's not that I don't think you have the answer, but Judy deals with the numbers
Yep,
like
I agree.
every day.
Yeah.
And when push comes to shove, when it all runs downhill, the numbers are.
I'm good with that policy,
So-
just when Judy said, be prepared to answer budget
Yeah,
questions,
I-
it was.
Well, they
And
might.
threw a
I say that
curveball.
because in past, before I was here in this, and
Yeah.
even probably Selectboard, and it was at meetings, I felt like a lot of questions were directed at the board almost as a,
Gotcha.
yeah, what do you know, and if they're like, then
Yeah.
it just, but I'm happy to answer. I mean, I've
Okay,
had
yep.
people ask me and then someone else jumps up and answers and I'm like, well,
Yeah, no,
so I'm fine with answering.
Yeah, I think like if you have something to add on, or if somebody has a follow-up that's outside of that, I'm not gonna say sit on your hands and, I think that, it's better to be proactive and like that, but I do think like, financial answers or things like that, just so that we're giving the right information, probably should come from Judy.
yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure we're following
Yeah,
the same
and I do
protocol we
like-
have in the past.
Yeah,
Yes, we
hearing
are.
that, we're gonna talk about, tag selling, roads, things like that. Maybe make a big plea again for lifeguards.
Right.
We need lifeguards. We're happy to send you to get lifeguard training. Please, please, please. I know we're not thinking about swimming, but it's gonna be here soon and.
So if we can't get lifeguards, you're looking at your lifeguards right here for next year, so I don't know if that's what you really want.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, okay, I think that sounds good. All right. Anything else? Any other old or new business?
Albert.
Yeah.
Yes, the bus, the reduced plan, route plan was implemented on February 2nd, so that's been going on for a week. And they are also now looking at trying to implement the fare plan. You know, we used to have fares, and they're looking for the 1st of May to have a fare plan in place. And what the fare is going to be is, you know, still in discussion. And the things that I think are pretty set is you are going to be able to pay by cash. Mm-hmm. You are going to be able to pay with pass, and then touchless, and you know, digital. They're looking at, you know, all the methods so you can pay, so we can reach out to everybody when they do start paying.
And
So-
then do they have groups that are exempt, like some places, like if you're over 65 or if you're a student, or no?
Well, yes, for veterans, there's going
Yeah.
to be some reducing, and they're looking at those things.
Okay.
We haven't gotten any detail yet on it, but
Yeah.
it's going to be looked at, and I certainly will pass that information
Sure.
on. And the only other information I'm going to pass on, this is a 13-year annually ridership for each of the routes.
Okay.
So, you know, that's just for your information. You know, you can see, you know, the activity of the bus for the last 13 years, and it's a yearly total for each route.
Okay.
Albert, is the majority of riders local and like consistent? Like, is it the same people pretty much that ride
I
the
think
bus?
yes.
Okay.
I think yes.
Like somebody doesn't randomly come to Rutland and just say, yeah, I gotta
I've
jump on
used
the-"
it when I've left my truck at Alderman's Toyota.
Oh, okay.
And then I've walked down to the transit center and caught the bus home. And then the
yeah.
next day, catch the bus to Rutland and then walk to Alderman's.
Okay.
You know, or, you know, I could range for having the shuttle from Alderman's come to
Right.
the terminal, but it's a short walk, so. But I think, yes, for the most part, it's pretty much regulars.
Okay.
A short walk from the bus thing to Alderman's?
For the transit center?
Yeah.
Well, the bus goes to Hannaford.
Well, I know, yeah.
That's a long walk.
And what about getting the new schedule? Are they printing those up?
Well, the route maps, I'm hoping to have the route maps for our March meeting.
Okay,
And
great.
then, you know, I hope, you know, that will be on there, you know,
Yeah.
the times, certainly.
Yeah, okay. That would be good, because I think even then, if we have those, we can, we could just do a shot of them and put them on our website or scan it,
Yeah.
things like that, so. Okay. All right, anything else under old or new business? All right, if not, a motion would be in order to find that premature general knowledge would clearly place the town at a substantial disadvantage for attorney-client communications.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Motion passes unanimously. And a motion to move into executive session at 6:49 to discuss under the provisions of 1 VSA Section 313A1F of the Vermont statutes.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
All right.